Find X7 Ultra has been with me for about a month. I received my unit back when I was at CES 2024, and I've been using it and of course testing it out. We've received quite a few updates, a lot of optimizations, and we now also have a feature that enables me to shoot 4K 60 frames per second from all of the lenses on this device. And I can actually switch between the back lenses whenever I want, even in video. This is TK, and this is my 1 month review of the brand new OPPO Find X7 Ultra. Let's check it out. Like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified to whenever we have new videos on the channel. This is the packaging for the Find X7 Ultra. Again, this is an OPPO, and this is currently a Chinese-only version of the device. There is no, at least no international release to date, or even a word about that. Last year with the Find X6 Ultra, we actually didn't have an international release. It was primarily left in the Chinese market. And this version is also powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, where the Find X7, the standard model, is powered by the Dimensity processor. And again, that one's also a Chinese edition as well. But here it is, the brand new Find X7 Ultra. The box itself, let's go ahead and talk real quick about content. You get the USB-C charger. This is going to be the power brick, giving us the ability of charging our battery here with the 100-watt charging, wired, and of course we have wireless solution. A C and A cable that provides us the ability of connecting to it, of course. Now, because this is a Chinese edition device, it does actually work in the US because the plugs for China and the US pretty much mirror each other. So it's really nice, very simple, and I don't have to worry about changing anything. Where it does change a little bit than what we had last year, and this is the case that I did receive with this device. And I'll say this overall, yeah, it does basically, it's going to get dirty a little bit faster than what we had. It does protect the device, so the device stays pristine. And same thing kind of happened to me last year. The only thing is, last year's case kind of mimicked what the phone looked like. So that's about maybe one of the first thing I probably will say. It did change from 2023 to 24. The Find X7 Ultra is a better device in many ways, and it has a lot of similar, I would say comparisons, but in many ways it has a similar experience in here. But the main thing that did change from last year to this year, which I really wish they would have kept, although this one was it was not immune to get dirty. Again, these are just in jeans pockets, so it does pick up some of that color. It does definitely pick up some color, and you may want to have like a spare or maybe pick up a different case. For me, they work, they protect the device, and it gives me the ability of enjoying my devices. Aesthetically, OPPO decided to kind of stay with the same design that we had last year. We're not going with an entirely new revamped design. First and foremost, obviously we have Hasselblad. We have obviously the ability of using that vegan leather on the back. And this is about a year old. This is roughly how long it's been I've had this device. And you can definitely see the orange color is a little bit different, but it's still absolutely fantastic. Design that we have here with that nice little orange dot, and you'll see it's mirrored right there as well. This is the Find X7 Ultra on the right. The biggest difference obviously is now we're moving to a quad camera setup in the back as opposed to what we had with the 3-camera setup on the Find X6 Ultra. Both having Hasselblad, both obviously providing us some of the best experiences. Differences obviously is 8 Gen 2 to 8 Gen 3, performance improvement of course, and cooling, better performance there. But the design for the most part kind of stayed the same. The bump on the back is a little bit bigger, but it does not really change much from the usability of the device. We still have large displays. We still have the ability of having stereo speakers in there. We have the IR blaster. Now where it does change a little bit, when we look on the device, you notice here on the left side we had the volume rocker, and of course on the right side we had the power button. That's the Find X6 Ultra. On the Find X7 Ultra, we actually gained something that we didn't have before, but the volume rocker and the power button are positioned on the right side, and we gained the alert slider. This is a obviously iconic OnePlus feature that it finally is starting to show up on OnePlus and as well as OPPO devices as well. So the alert slider sitting on the left side, so that position in here, you can reach it directly with your finger there, and of course, power button, volume rocker, absolutely fantastic. The weight of the device is very nice. You have a screen protector pre-applied, and again, the case that's included in there is definitely nice. It does match the color of the device, although I wished it was still similar to what we had with the Find X6 Ultra, and that was the ability of using it to make it look exactly as if it's the device. It just continues the premium experience when we have that nice vegan leather, and I'm hoping to be able to find a case from OPPO that does provide us the same experience. Biggest thing I'll probably say is the design on the device, they're about the same height, the same width, and of course, similar experiences with the curved display on the front and the curved back, providing us some of the best performances and of course experiences. Again, I have announced that this was my favorite device of 2023 here, and I'm hoping that this one will also continue that experience. The display is beautiful. The wallpaper that you're seeing here is actually an image that I took with the Find X7 Ultra. And one of the reasons why I appreciate it and why I made it my wallpaper is you could see the dynamic color change. This was a sun peeking through some clouds. We've had some rain here in the LA area not that long ago, and even actually as of this morning. But you can see here the different colors, the blues, the whites, the yellows, the intensity of the sun. And as you saw there, I made this my wallpaper and can definitely appreciate it, and it looks absolutely great. The cameras on here are top notch. This device is camera first, phone second, but it doesn't really compromise on any of the experiences you're getting there. There is some limitations that we have in here, being that this is not an international model. So first and foremost, I did have to sideload the Google Play services, and I did also have to sideload all of the Google apps that you'll see with me using on this device. Out of the box, this does not come with any of those. As you'll see, a lot of the applications were actually primarily meant for the Chinese market. I left them mostly to you. I can show that to you after basically using it, but for the most part, I kind of customized and added all my apps. One of the biggest things that I'm very, very happy to see is support for 5G here in the US, and at least for me in my area, crazy T-Mobile connection speeds support here. 1056 down, 136 up. That is absolutely mid-band 5G on T-Mobile in the LA area. So definitely very, very nice. And you can see here also that 689, not as fast, but still crazy good. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 mobile platform, 6.2-inch QHD resolution, 120 Hz refresh rate. Of course, we have a 5000 milliampere battery capable of being charged wirelessly and wired, of up to 100 watt wire charging with the included charger in the box. We have 16 gigs of storage of RAM here, expandable with an additional 12 from the page file system, so basically the RAM boost. What we also have here on the right side is a 512 gigs of internal storage. There's going to be configurations where it goes all the way from 12 gigs of RAM all the way up to 512. So 12 to 16 on the RAM and 256 to 512 on the storage. The camera stack that we talked about, again, the 32 megapixel camera on the front, the quadruple 50 megapixel camera sensors with the main sensor being a 1-inch sensor. That's going to be a 50 megapixel sensor. And it's going to be the updated Sony sensor that we have in here, giving us the ability of taking some of those amazing images. First and foremost, of course, is that we also have obviously 4K 60 recording on all of the lenses that we have in here. Security chips here, we have the ISOCELL security chip that we have in here, NFC, of course, built in as well. Android 14, and that's going to be basically what's supporting ColorOS 14 with their optimization. Special features, we have split view for the split screen, flexible window, quick launch, smart sidebar, simple mode, driving mode, and of course, quick preview options as well. When it comes down to performance, there's no question. This is out of the box going to be, again, not having Google Play services, meaning that we're going to be pretty much made for the Chinese market. And then once you download the Google Play services, you're able to basically run almost everything that you want. We don't have quick share, or basically we don't have nearby share, or what new quick share is supposed to be coming into most Android devices, as that's not supported in that market, but it is something that we are able to still share using OPPO Share. Let's go ahead and open up this image. I'm going to share with you guys here. So we can click it here. You'll see we have OPPO Share that does work with international models. So if, let's say, you have an OPPO or a Realme device, this is definitely going to work great. You can transfer content similarly to the way that we normally would have used nearby share. Otherwise, we have access to all the configurations here. We also have PC Connect or multi-screen Connect supported in here. But this is obviously the biggest thing about this is it's a device that is built around the cameras. When we talk about the camera UI, very similar to what we've seen before, except here now we have a section called Master. You'll notice we have video, we have photo, we have portrait, we have more. And none of these options actually pretty much say, you know, Pro mode. So the Pro video is actually now, and the ability of shooting RAW, and all of those things are going to be present in here. But under Master mode, so by definition, the Master mode is the option to being able to go in here and change custom options in the camera that allows you to basically shoot specifically. Now there's the auto configuration, and of course Pro mode sits right here. Now we're able to customize, sorry, go one more time here. And we can actually customize the different experiences running in here, from basically the ISO, of course the focus, the EV, and then white balance and auto focusing capabilities. You can keep them all in auto, and of course you're able to switch over to start shooting in RAW. So that was that image that I just shared with you guys a second ago. I want to share you guys real quick what it is. So we're going to go back here. Let's go ahead and actually exit this portion. This image was originally shot in basically in RAW. So as I was driving this morning, we had a really nice fog setup. As you can see here, that's what the image is. I'm showing it to you guys here just to see kind of what the reference point is. And then I went ahead and started editing it and just did like that little bit of basically film noir configuration here, but just the ability of just customizing it, getting that really deep blacks and the colorization, and allowing the fog to just blur up the tree in here. And of course, even intensify the light. Just looks absolutely fantastic, and you can edit it in any tool. I personally chose to use Snapseed, since now we are able to edit in Snapseed to basically edit RAW in Snapseed. So it works really good. There's no question that gaming on this is absolutely going to be fantastic. There's no question, obviously, that this is going to run really good. We're going to cover that in a second. But I want to share with you guys real quick some clips from the cameras on the main sensors on the back, but also actually not just the main sensor, all 4 of these sensors on the back shooting in 4K, as well obviously some front-facing camera experience, since we're able to shoot 4K 60 on all of the lenses. Where OPPO is putting this device and positioning it is the ability of having the best experiences all around the lenses you have. I showed you 4K 60 frames per second on all the lenses in the back, and we're able to switch between them. Now we're switching to the front-facing camera, showing you guys again the same little lake area that I'm in, and I'm shooting 4K 60 frames per second on the front-facing camera. This is again why the Find X series has always been the top-of-the-line experimental series, but the last couple of years we've seen a focus on experience and performance. What we get here is the Gen 3. We get some of the best lenses that we have all around, front or back. And again, this video is shot in 4K 60 frames per second, as well as this main shot that I showed you guys from the back. 4K 60 from all the lenses. It's absolutely a pleasure. So one of the main real improvements that we've seen here, at least within the last update that we got on the Ultra here, is the ability of me being able to change focal length. I mean, actually recording the same clip, and I'm able to jump in to 3x, I can jump into 6x, and I'm still shooting in the same video. I can jump back in, you can see the transition going in. And the beautiful thing is, we have not left the video. I can even jump into the ultra wide. Even they're happy about it. But yeah, 4K 60 is going to be supported on all the lenses. And of course, they're happy, I'm happy. I hope you guys appreciate it. It is absolutely essential to understand the functions of what this device is trying to do. The cameras, as you see there, the functionality of being able to record one clip and jumping between all 4 of the sensors that we have on the back is absolutely fantastic, because this is the ability when a tool becomes basically second nature, meaning you no longer have to think about how the tool functions, but you just have to enjoy it. Like an example would be how this image comes out of these, basically the Buds 3 from OnePlus that just got launched. The fantastic image, the color representation. This was an overcast day and it was still able to pull some of that color. What I really like about it is also the ability of using some of the editing tools that we have. Like an example would be here, you'll notice here, this is a built-in editor. We have the ability of going in there, customizing, but the ability of actually doing watermark, retouch, pixelate, stickers, blur, and even object erasers, and ability of basically removing different things in there. The customizations are all endless and they're built in. And if there is a new feature that gets installed, you're able to also basically download it as a module. Of course, Pro XDR is still present in here, so it goes without any surprises that this would have some of the best experiences that we're able to do here. We have the ability of customizing the experience here from going into performance mode. Let's go into platform, change it from pro mode to standard mode, swift touch, network optimization, cleanup. You can jump in here and set up the brightness, screen recording, of course, and you can go in there and customize your own profile. This is my login information here. All the things that we are able to do before are still here and very nice and customizable. And of course, when we talk about gaming and of course playing Call of Duty Mobile, because it's again one of my favorite games, I'm able to actually lock the frame rate to 120 frames per second, customize in here with ultra mode as well as medium on basically the quality here. So it absolutely looks really, really nice, and I'm showing you guys right now a quick sample of that. The game runs very nice. The device does not overheat. It's going to handle everything and anything that you throw at it. Gaming is not an issue. The Gen 3 is a beast performance-wise, benchmarks and all. It definitely will not disappoint. I think if anything else, make sure to know that if you ever do need that extra boost under the battery section, you do have the option of turning on performance mode, which will utilize the full potential of the Gen 3, where it typically mostly runs about 70, maybe 80 to 90% of the performance that we have in there, but the gaming is definitely not going to disappoint. When we look at the Find X7 Ultra over the Find X6 Pro from last year, we see the improvement. We see the optimizations that were done in here, the brand new 1-inch sensor that we have on the main camera on the back. We also see the complementing cameras. Now we have basically 2 telephoto lenses at 2.8x, which is roughly the 3x that we had before, as well as the 6x, and those are optical. This is not digital. Obviously, you're able to jump over further than that with a little bit of digital optimization, but the ability of also jumping into the ultra wide with the 50 megapixel camera, you're getting the best lenses on a device in a system that runs very well. One thing I will say when we're starting to take a look at some of these images and of course the capabilities that we're able to get out of this device is the main sensor, the main 50 megapixel 1-inch sensor, has a very shallow depth of field. So you need to be very aware of what you're trying to shoot. And if the subject is maybe more of at an angle where you're able to basically kind of roll over, the entire area in there is not going to be in focus. And I recommend you probably using the 3x or the 2.8x zoom that the telephoto lens there, which will absolutely produce amazing images, but has a wider, a much, I would say a bigger focal length, allowing it to actually absorb, meaning if I'm standing here and I'm holding a phone, that 3x lens will give you a better image than the main sensor in there, and that's primarily because of the shallow depth of field. The device is intended to give you that precise sharpness to the subject that you're shooting, and you're able to see and obviously take that shot that you're trying to shoot. Also, if you switch over to the ultra wide, there's the benefit of the near side, basically somewhat of a macro mode that we're able to shoot as well. As I showed you that picture of my car, that was actually shot with the ultra wide, and I was barely, maybe less than maybe an inch and a half away from the actual car. The image comes beautiful. The thing about this device is I came from a device that I loved prior to this, made by the same company. And what I love the fact here is that OPPO decided to double down on this experience and gave us even better optics, better experiences. An evolutionary upgrade when we go from the 8 Gen 2 to the 8 Gen 3, but we obviously have the AI functionality, the Wi-Fi 7 support, all of the different things that come with the platform. But the optimizations coming from one over the other comes in the optics, and especially in the area and the sensors that we have. Shooting 4K 60 on all the sensors at the same time, meaning I can switch between each one of them, and the color science is actually pretty close between them, so you really see that the calibration was done correctly to give us the ability of shooting those images or those videos and jump between them and do a nice little transition in the editor without having to mess too much. We don't have to shoot multiple clips. What I will say though is, again, this is still somewhat of a, not necessarily a handicap, but this is a Chinese edition version of the device. If you're gonna buy this and you're gonna import it to the US, it's gonna work fantastic on T-Mobile. Internet speeds are absolutely crazy fast, as I showed you there. And of course, you have all the functionalities of Google services. The one thing that it does not have is that because it's not sold in the international market, Nearby Share or Quick Share, or the new name for Nearby Share, is not supported at all. We do have NFC, but we don't have eSIM, so that's also something else that you want to be aware of. In the Asian market, SIM cards are primarily still the main function, and I think that's not going to disappoint you there. 5G, all of those are going to work great, and the cameras are going to blow you away. This is typical to what we've seen from OPPO before, and they are just delivering year over year. The Find X7 Ultra is my favorite device at this point, and I hope that I'm able to carry this through the rest of 2024 the same way I carried the Find X6 Pro last year. And again, I still love this device. And I also love the fact that they went with really good colors. There's a new option here in blue, but I think this color looks absolutely fantastic, and it is the most premium experience I'm able to get right now on Android with the 8 Gen 3. Of course, thank you to OPPO for sending me this device to check out and share with you guys my experience. I've been using it again since CES of 2024, and it just keeps surprising me, and it keeps getting better. Thank you very much for the support. I'll see you in the next video.